Good evening, everyone. This is Taxonomy Tuesday from New Jersey Mycological Association. This is where our members share their recent finds. It's spring. We've had the snow melt, and hopefully people have found something interesting to share. Would anybody like to go first?
I could go.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
All right. We were out in Shark River this weekend and found some calostomas. I believe these are the lutescens, the collared ones. That nice foamy looking stipe. And there was a couple of them in the wall. I don't know if you could really tell. There was another one kind of over there. But it was it's nice to see something.
I never find that at all. So,
My wife came across a patch. I should have had her send me the picture. Uh, she snapped a photo of it. There's probably 10 or 15 of them in like a maybe like a 2 foot by 5 foot area. And
so this is in an oak area that you found this?
uh, Shark River, there's a lot of oak and pine and a little bit of everything.
Because it says it's mycorrhizal with oaks. I was just wondering if it was consistent.
The Calostomas?
The Calostoma lutescens, yes,
Oh,
according to
that's
mushroom
interesting.
expert.
I did not know that. And there was a nice Dacrymyces on this chunk of pine, super full and yellow. And I don't know if there's anyone on that knows like is the clear bit not yellow yet, or is there something else happening here?
Looks like pine pitch,
The
pine sap.
white?
Yeah, pitch. Was it sticky like pine sap pitch?
No, it is like
No?
liquidy Dacrymyces.
Really? Okay.
This isn't a tremella.
Not
I
on pine.
Yeah, I thought the tremellas were only on hardwood and the Dacrymyces were on the pines.
Do we know which species of Dacrymyces?
No, I do not. I uh I
Yeah.
brought a bit home, but you know, after a day they shrink up to this little tiny thing. And honestly, I couldn't find it. But that's
Jamie is suggesting Myxarium nucleatum, which I'm not familiar with.
yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, I've
So
seen that before. It has what they call inclusions, little white specks inside the more clear, translucent mass. A number of these little specks. So I don't know if that one had that.
So what was that? Was that something proposed other than Dacrymyces?
yeah,
Uh, are there
Myxarium
two
nucleatum.
species there? Okay, because I don't know that one. Are there two species there?
I'm not certain. I think sometimes Dacrymyces can get washed out too. But that, what was it? Myxarium nucleatum? Myxarium? I have seen that once or twice.
Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing about. I may have even found that a long time ago. So that would be the white stuff then?
Maybe.
Where's
I
the
see.
picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see it anymore.
And I actually didn't even see the Calostoma. But yeah, the Dacrymyces, that is the other tremella, the conifer tremella. So if it's not this new one, it's probably that chrysosperma or something, Dacrymyces chrysosperma.
Yeah, there's a handful of species, and sometimes you can get a pretty good proposal from spore dimensions.
As I
You
see
just lie
the
it down as soon as you get it home, before it dries out, like Chris said, they dry up into next to nothing. Just lie it down on a microscope slide, and then by the next morning, chances are there'll be a lot of spores on the slide.
Chris, can you show that Dacrymyces or Myxarium again? Because it doesn't look like the pictures I'm seeing of the Myxarium.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was part of the Dacrymyces. Like, I don't know, maybe it was getting eaten by something or.
I don't think it's the Myxarium based on the pictures I see.
Yeah, because I look at these like wrinkly parts here that look, very similar to what's next to it.
Myxarium.
But the
Yeah,
rest of the log had, clumps like, you know, regular. That was the only weird one, so I made sure to get that one too.
weird one. Yeah, okay.
My guess would be chrysosperma, but there's one cort, oh, corticoides, I think. That was usually flatter.
Yeah, these were definitely up, but I mean, after all of that snow and rain and everything like this was really extra full.
Now, one thing I see here, it looks like there's a little white knob where this attaches to the substrate.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a chrysospermus trait.
yeah, it was just nice to see stuff that had color out there.
Beautiful. I missed the Calostoma. Did you show one?
Oh yeah, I could show you that again.
Please.
Let's see.
Yeah, I missed that too. I'd like to see it. Thanks for
Oh,
asking, Hunter.
Yeah, it went real fast. Oh, cool. Wow, that's awesome.
So this is probably a holdover from last year, right?
These
uh,
things, yeah, these things come up. I mean, they're common in the pine barrens in January, February, in the winter.
Oh, oh, you know what? I think this came up before because I have found these in Pennsylvania in cold, in a rather cold area. Really early in the season, like, well, not real early, but in May, and they looked like this. They looked old. Even more ragged and older than this one. I
Yeah, I
just
mean
Um,
this isn't
old.
brand new, but it's probably not that old.
Okay.
well, there is that anecdote now that we're talking about it again. A member of the club that often, collects fungi and then has a pile that they distribute them in their backyard. Uh, if you remember that pile, everything breaks down, but this calostoma kind of persists. It doesn't break down like the rest of the fungi do.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they did
that's
say
what I'm
they did.
thinking. I'm sorry, go on.
Next time I find one, I'll have to just like dig one out and throw it in my backyard and see and see how long it lasts.
Right. Because, after a reasonable amount of time, even polypores are, you know, uh, disintegrate to nothing. But these kind of persist.
And I think I found this species in the pine barrens in New Jersey in fall. Like November maybe. I think it was this one.
Yeah,
I'd
there's
have
a
to look up.
spot. There's a spot in Franklin Parker when I'm there with the Burkharts that we always hit up in the wintertime months in January and February when it's even very cold recently, just to look for this thing because sometimes it's one of the only interesting fungi out there. Um, and it's not uncommon to find it fresh out there like that.
Yeah, well, I was with the Burkharts when I saw it. It was on the side of a wide trail, a wide dirt road, like a drivable dirt road through the pine
Yep,
barren.
that's where we go, and it can be found there reliably, even when it's cold. So
Hey, is
yeah,
there like a bank on the side of that road?
yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always it. Every time I find them, they're sticking out of a bank of some kind. So like
Oh,
right where
me
that.
too. Yeah.
The
Not
ones I found in Pennsylvania were growing from a slightly inclined um, area along a trail.
I
same.
wonder if I wonder if maybe there's some like leaf cover that keeps warmth there in the cold months potentially.
I don't know. You think that would keep temperature up? I mean, maybe if it's facing the right way, the hillside, that is.
Maybe it just likes the direct sun once the tree leaves are gone. It gets more sun.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe it likes that the soil drains.
That's what I was thinking. Drainage. Yeah.
But I
See,
always
I
think of
think these.
calostoma as being in wet.
Yes, the cinnabarinum or cinnabarina, as usual. I can't remember the ending. Is usually in wet places.
I'm still yet to find one of those personally.
I'm gonna look up on see what they have on Myco Quebec for this species.
Chris, did you have another one after the last one?
No, that's all I had. Thank you.
Lila asked about the Ravenelli, Li, but this one's yellow, and the Ravenelli I think is red.
Cinnabarina is red. Ravenelli is
Is that also
also
red?
yellow, but lacks the gelatinous covering for
Well,
Baroni.
that one, yeah, the Ravenelli's got the red dot.
Lutescens is supposed to have the collar, right? This one does not.
Okay.
But,
First thought
but
it did.
maybe that's an age thing.
Yeah, that's it. They seemed a little beat up.
Long gone. I'm sure it's going in many pyramids. Right. I've never even seen a tannery myself. Let's find out.
But definitely none of the fish egg looking things.
Every town in Pennsylvania had at least one tannery. States of London.
And there was a slight red on the beak, but not like I think lutescens also has that.
So how many possibilities are there in that area, New Jersey, for Calostoma? There's lutescens, ravenelii, cinnabarinus, and more still?
I've always considered those three, but I mean, who knows? I've never had one sequenced. But this isn't cinnabarina.
No.
6 tanneries remain.
No, I was just wondering if there were more possibilities.
It's a good question. I've only ever considered those three though.
What do you think?
Yeah, so I just did a quick search on INAT, and for Jersey, it's only showing the cinnabarinum and the lutescens. So, but I didn't.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't see the collar. Maybe I wasn't looking at the right spot. I didn't notice the collar or the gelatinous stuff.
A mushroom expert has a fourth species, Calostoma microsporum, which I didn't know about.
What is ASO?
Oh.
The government grammarian. They take their special.
Does that have the red lips? Which one has like the really red lips?
Cinnabarinum or lutescens has red lips also because I'm looking on Mushroom Observer or Mushroom Lutescens here. No,
I think they all do, although I didn't microsporus. I've never heard of that one. But I think they all. Yeah, the species was Microsporus, right? But I think they all can have red lips.
Understandable, and I think he was the government.
Okay.
Wow. Love you guys. You're all over
Thanks.
the place one more time, and only one of you.
Yeah, the microsporum was a variation of the ravenelii. I'm the microscope expert. Okay, we're ready to move on. Jamie, would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. I sent you the iNaturalist observations.
So you want me to share and you don't want to share yours directly?
Yes, that would be preferred.
Okay.
Okay, so this one I found earlier today. I wasn't really sure what was going on. There's that. That's just like the piece of bark that you're zoomed in on right now. But if you look a little bit lower in that picture, I don't know what exactly it is,
Where
but
the antlers are on the bottom here?
yeah.
All right.
Oh, wow.
I found that in a rotting log that was, I think, a pine, probably pitch pine. I have some other pictures in the observation of what it looked like. There was a lot of kind of cobwebby mycelium right where those little antler things were sticking
So
out.
is,
I'm
is
not
the
sure if
fungus is the fungus these antler things, or this is a piece of wood?
no, it's the little antler things.
The antler things, okay.
Um, but yeah,
Maybe
it was like a
maybe a
fuzzy,
mixed collection, perhaps.
yeah, maybe, but it was like super fuzzy like that, and then those little antlers were like sticking out.
They don't
Was
even
it
look
just
like the
on
same
the ground, Jamie, or did you flip a log or something?
I flipped a log and it was like on the underside of the rotting log.
It looks like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think there's a few things going on.
If we could go back to the first photo, was that something like at the top? Is that some kind of poroid thing? Maybe like coltricia?
about the top left.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Um,
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It might just be like a piece of like wood or debris because I had it like in a little vial in my pocket. It got shaken around a little bit.
And
Little
what's
antler
this?
parts look like some kind of weird, like little, like a fresh xylaria or something.
Yeah, I agree with that, Chris. Although what's the scale here? Like how big is this piece of collection that we were just looking at in that first photo?
I think if you keep going through the observation, that's like the log with it. Um, so it was pretty small. I
Hmm.
think if you go back like two more pictures, um, like to some of the ones that you passed already.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get to see the wall. So which one all right, this is the first one.
Yeah. Um, I think the fourth image has the
2, 3, 4.
yeah, so that's like the log that's covered in the like fuzzy mycelium, and then
Ah, that's
that's
okay.
how big they were. So they were pretty small compared to the rotting wood. And that's why I'm not sure if they were like something separate from all of that fuzziness happening. Like I'm not sure if that was the mycelium of something else or if that was some other kind of mold.
Do we sort of all agree that that looks like looks uh,
Xylaria.
Xylaria? Yeah, I can't
Xylaria.
pronounce it today.
Yeah, except it looks really smooth.
Yeah.
Xylaria is usually kind of grainy looking.
Well, there's grains on it. Uh,
Okay.
It can't get bigger.
how long would those be, like in their longest dimension, Jamie? Like less than a centimeter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with Xylaria, the hairiness on this is unrelated, I believe. Um,
Okay,
yeah,
so like
The
some other
threads.
kind of mold maybe that's kind of growing over it.
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Or a competing fungus, I think would be. Yeah, I think that's more likely a competing fungus. And
Look
you
at
can
that
see
yellow
that
thing at
yellow,
3 o'clock.
Yeah.
that long yellow thing.
Yeah.
That's like an not ascobolus, but yeah, one of these teeny tiny things underneath logs. But the big red structure in the foreground,
Wood.
do we think that is fungal? I
No,
would
that's
say
a
no.
piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, the yellow thing in the background though, that looks fungal.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that first photo, do you guys know Coltricia, what is it? Pendulum dependens, maybe? Like a pendulate Coltricia? if you know that species, it also has some interesting kind of fuzzy feet, rhizomorphs, mycelium. I don't know how to describe that really, but
Is
I
this
don't know
the,
the
what kind of wood is this? Is this deciduous or is this pine?
I'm pretty sure it's a pine. It was a pretty big log and it didn't have much of the bark left over, but it's mostly um it's from that pocket marsh that I'm making a field guide for, and it's mostly um pines and cedars there. And
I was
this,
gonna say the color looks like cedar.
yeah, but it's not, I don't think it was a cedar because it was like so destroyed. Like the cedar logs tend to just kind of stay there pretty undisturbed. It was wider than the cedars and a lot softer the way the pines get when they start to rot.
Guess we can't, but this looks like a leaf. It's not, no. Okay.
it also looks like there's some blue coloration in there. Is that right, Jamie? Did you notice that? Is there maybe some like trichoderma or something working its way in there?
There could be some of them, I got a bunch of observations today, and there were definitely some of the logs that had very like green blue, like fuzzy molds on the underside, but this one it was more like whitish gray.
Yeah, and this mycelium, it looks very thick. I would almost, I don't know, what's the distinction between rhizomorph and mycelium? I guess we're on a pretty micro scale here, so I guess that's mycelium, right?
Yeah, there's also some fungi that produce fruit bodies that are like white fuzz, like what is it, Syzygamyces or something?
Oh,
What's that?
right. But that grows on mushrooms.
Yeah,
Like,
that grows on mushrooms. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's right.
I might split the observation then and do the Xylaria. Is that what the first like antler thing is called?
Perhaps.
Yeah, that would be a good starting proposal, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, I might split it then and have the Xylaria and then put the white fuzz up separately. And maybe when I go back to the office on Thursday, I'll see if I can.
You can cut them open to know what the color of the inside is.
I did not.
Yeah, that would be helpful. That would be a good idea. What about telling mycelium from a web of an insect or something? Is it obvious the
It
difference?
didn't. There were definitely some spider webs around it, but that area wasn't um like insect made.
It's a good question, and if anyone ever finds anything that they can compare to Arachnopizza, if anyone is familiar with that genus, um, that makes kind of spider webby type rhizomorphs from each fruiting body. Um, but that complicates things even further, right?
Yeah, interesting.
And I've got a few more. Okay, this one I wasn't able to collect it. Some of the other pictures might be better, but it was just a small little like very wavy looking.
Think about the white areas.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty. That's really neat.
Yeah, that's some kind of a jelly, I think. But there's something else that
Yeah,
looks,
this looks like a polypore here.
yeah. Go up in the picture if you can, Sue. I thought there was another fruit body up above somewhere. Is that no?
It just looks like a piece of
Zoom
bark.
out.
Let's zoom
Did you,
out this way.
did
Okay.
you touch it?
It was it was kind of like soft, but I don't know. I've seen like some of the little like cup fungi before. I couldn't really collect it because it was like so soft. Um, and the wood, I couldn't like easily break it apart. It was also under a log. I flip a lot of logs.
Yeah, that's so cool. You find great things.
So the white jelly could that be just a the Ducafera? Just very, very small? Because it's
I
growing
don't.
on wood.
I think
I,
it's
I
too early.
well, I also think if we kind of zoom in on one of the apices of the one pointing directly out, or the one pointed directly towards us, is this maybe not a?
I
It
don't
looks like
think
it has a
it's
cap.
jelly.
It looks like it has a cap, right? Or
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's
Like the
more.
little reflex section that maybe when it was rolled, that was kind of facing out.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think this is going to be a ductifera type thing. I don't think this is a jelly fungus.
I agree. There's a polypore or crust that I'm thinking it might be, but the name escapes me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm having the same trouble. I don't think it gets very big, this thing that we're trying to think of.
Yeah, there are some other little like kind of like cup fungi that grow like on the underside of the logs that are more like bluish green in color. So I don't know if it's kind of similar to that.
The portion that's kind of out of focus in this photograph, is that maybe a sterium? Like the orange bits.
That was some of the wood that was like rotten.
Well, are there any cup funguses that start out with a sort of a pseudo stem? Or do we think this is folded just differently?
Yeah, I think it's folded, but to answer your question, yes, there are cup fungi that have stems. Start out that way, develop that way with age, but I do think this is just some wrinkled thing. But I could be wrong.
Did we try, did anybody try to upload this to iNaturalist and see what they think? Not that I trust them.
I
Are
mean
we
it
now? Or
yeah.
yeah, are we looking at an iNaturalist observation
We
right
are
now?
not. We are not.
It
Oh,
is an iNaturalist
It
observation.
isn't.
yeah,
Oh,
it
great.
looks like one to me.
Okay. All right, somebody's got better eyes than I do. All right, so did they suggest anything?
I think they had like a bunch of like unrelated species that it suggested,
Okay.
and I didn't trust any of
The
it,
other
so
way's
I just
wrong.
said
Okay.
fungi.
Okay. All right. So we have to leave it as unknown.
Maybe that's if you log in to INET, maybe there's more answers there. But
I don't know that we get more power. Sorry, I got a very long password here.
yeah, I'm not even sure if being logged in is requisite to see other people's opinion on the observation. So
I should be logging when we do this in case we come up with something we do want to make a
You,
suggestion.
if you do like suggest an identification and click on it, then that would auto-populate. Like if you, it'll make the suggestions. So
Okay, Melissa Senior.
no, don't even
Dismount.
click. Don't even click. Xylaria Lapiformis might have been good for the thing that we talked about before, but I would doubt it. Um, Myxarioides, no, right? Myxarium, no, that's a jelly. It's not Racupinatus. It's not Excidia, right? Anyone agree or disagree with any of that?
I agree. I don't like any of these. I'd like to learn this one, Mycenia lazulia. That's
Yeah,
pretty.
actually, let's have a look at that.
Oh no, we don't want to suggest
Yeah.
that. They didn't really let us look at that, right? So I'm gonna go
yeah,
here.
if you go to view on the right side, that would take you to the actual.
Right.
Right. So this is a guild, obviously guild thing, kind of like one of those weird entelomas, right?
I want to find whatever that is.
Yeah. Well, I clicked on not in our area, so I don't know where this is coming from.
Oh my God,
This,
look at that.
if we had seen this, we would know this. Okay.
Oh, blue.
Tiny blue lights. I guess
Yeah,
it's from the
that's
blue
really
stipe.
cool.
Okay.
And it's one of those things, if we were looking at this page, just kind of trying to figure out, is this that thing? There's zero observations of this if
Yes.
you zoom up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I saw it. No, no, no. Yes. Well, that's because I have it on New Jersey. Okay. So Pisky has found it. 875.
Hmm. Oh, there
So
you
it
go.
does exist. Come on, get down.
In Malaysia.
Come on, go to America. Nothing. Okay. So out of area really was out of area. So erase it from your brain. Okay. So we don't have a real suggestion for the white
So
cup.
it wasn't jelly like, right?
I mean, it was like soft, but in the way that some of the other little like cup ones are, not really
Yeah.
jelly squishy.
And the only thing I can think of is Tremula fusiformis, but I don't think it's that.
and this is on wood, like directly on the wood, right?
Yeah,
Well, I
it
guess,
was underneath like on the damp part. Um, so I just kind of like rolled the log over and it was nestled there.
and I guess that tremella does grow on wood, but often fusiformis is found. Oh no, it is on wood. Yeah. I was thinking of the other Sebacina thing.
Yeah, it's more translucent though.
Oh yeah, this is not Tremella fusiformis. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like clear.
But now I'm thinking Sebacina, and I don't know what young Sebacina looks like.
Yeah, some of the Sebacenas come out pretty early.
Can we see those two in the upper right?
Those,
Yeah.
as far as we can get. I don't think they're better looking than the other guys.
It kind of looks Morolioid, if or like
Yeah.
yeah, if that makes sense, like pseudo Morolius, which has I don't know of any white ones. Serpula, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to give up for today.
Yeah.
One. On to
I'll
the
put a
next one.
couple. I'll put a couple of those things in the chat. I don't think it's any of those, but worth looking into.
Yeah, I can add it to like the notes and say potentially could be one of these things, and then see if anyone agrees or disagrees in the.
Yeah, or you could just create a comment.
This one, I'm not sure if it's new or if it was a leftover from last year. This one was in the Rutgers Eco Preserve, in Piscataway, and it was like a little shelf.
When it's on this log, was it put on the log here?
No, that's where it was growing.
It's actually growing that way.
I think it was like a fallen branch, so I think it was like parallel to the ground as it was growing, and then it fell, and I was
Okay.
able to find it on the ground.
And part of it was pinkish like this, and the other was orangey red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, poor. This looks like a beat up Trametes cinnabarinum.
Yes. Right. Except I can't explain the pink for that one.
I know that there's a parasitic fungus that I found here that is pink and it grows on some of the Mysterium. I forget what it's called.
Phlebia, you're talking about Phlebia, help me guys. Phlebia, is it not radicata? Phlebia.
Incarnata.
There's Phlebia
Yeah.
tremulosa, Phlebia radiata.
Incarnata is the pink one.
Incarnate. Oh,
Pink one.
incarnate,
Okay,
right.
Yeah, I think they changed the
That
genus.
could be. Yeah.
It's
But
not. It's not that
not
though.
that. No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Let
you know
me
what?
see. Close up. I don't know. Could be. Not the big part, but the small part.
Yeah, I don't think it's that, but when you look at that small part, I think that tells us more of what it is, and I just can't think of what it is.
Well, the obvious pores on this thing rule out that Phlebia incarnata.
Yes. For the orange part, yes.
Yeah, the red part looks like Trametes cinnabarina. That's what the pores look like on that. But I guess the inside of a Trametes cinnabarinum fruit body are also dark, or it's also red inside. So this pink stuff would not just be the inside, having been exposed by
Yeah, that pink part was just like out exposed to the air. I don't know, maybe it's like an older fungus and it kind of lost its pigment.
yeah.
In 1985, Ken Lay founded this energy company that later became known.
Okay, so right now we think it's just Trametes cinnabarinus.
Yeah, with something else growing right next to it. Maybe that might be like a resupinate polypore next to it. Is that poroid also the pink part?
Let's see. Looks more toothy to me.
Yeah, see if we can get a close up
Look
look at that.
Can't get any closer.
Morelioid to me. We can't zoom in anymore.
It doesn't
Yeah.
do anything for me.
Yeah,
If I
Jamie.
go-
Able to
we'll have
zoom
to
in
do it
on
your phone.
the red stuff to see the pores. If you can zoom in that much on just the
No, I can't even do that.
yeah, it's
That's as
not
far as I
working
can go.
now. Before
I
you had
didn't
it zoomed in pretty well.
I didn't think that the pink part was like a
Oh, wait a
separate
minute, wait a minute,
on
wait a
this
minute. My
slide.
fingers do better than the clicking does because I got a touch screen here.
See, before we saw the
That
pores
looks.
very clearly on the red polypore.
Well, we can see the pores on the pink now.
Yeah, but if you could
It
get it,
looks.
if you could get the view that we had before that
That
showed
was
the
a different
pores.
picture that I had taken with my loop of the pores.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. So that was okay. That was a picture that only of the pores of the red one. Okay. Right. Yeah, I see. I see the loop actually now. Right. Okay, I see.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly, but with endurance, you can never stay on top.
That's the one with the pores. Oh, I can't see it all. It doesn't work when I. Oh, we didn't see that picture before.
What about Flebia tremulosa? I know it's really dark red for that.
Oh, I think this polyport is Trametes cinnabarina.
It does
You
look
know,
like
it's that
Flabius.
other stuff that's a little bit confusing. And it might just be where this was attached and got ripped off, and the context where it was ripped and is still sticking to the substrate is very thin, and it's just like a thin layer of context, and maybe it faded over the winter because this looks like it was
Yeah,
probably
I
there for
mean,
a
that
while.
was like the bottom is where the pink part is, and that
Yeah,
fourth picture in the series, I kind of like peeled it off the bark a little bit. So that was like where it was attached.
yeah, I think that's what's going on here. It's just that's just context from the polypore that got stuck to the wood, and maybe it was exposed because the branch fell, maybe it knocked the polypore and ripped it off a little bit, and this pink part used to be darker, and it's just faded from being exposed all winter. That's my guess.
Oh, we do see the pieces of red in between of it. So yeah, it does look
Yeah,
like it's
there's
just
red
been ripped
stuck to
apart.
it.
If anything,
I,
it looks like it's white and then it's still got some bleed from the red as opposed to
maybe.
faded. Okay, I'm happy with it. Jimmy said Marina. Are you happy with that, Jamie?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's further than I got. I'm still learning all the fungi, so
Well, there's still time. It's only 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so this one was cool. A naturalist suggested like a species for it. I don't know if it's right, but it was kind of purpley and it was kind of growing alongside another crust. There was like the crust was all attached to the bottom of a log, and then there was a little opening where that fungus was growing.
I
Cool
think
find.
Ceriopora is a pretty good proposal. Um, I don't know my species, but that's what Ceriopora is like. And is this different though? This yellow stuff?
Yeah, that yellow stuff was a different like shelf
Yeah,
fungus.
yeah,
So
okay.
it's that little purple one that's next to my finger. I just kind of had
Can
a zoomed out
Oh,
picture
it's very
to show the
small.
scale.
Okay.
can we zoom in
Yeah.
on the very right on this photo?
And this one,
Yeah.
I see it's right in that opening there.
Yeah.
that's where hers is, yeah, right there. Go to the right where Brandon would like to see, which is the white stuff in the middle.
Yeah, that this one was interesting. It had a whole like colony of little tiny fungus beetles on it. And some of their grubs too were, super happy. So some of the I think I uploaded a separate observation of one of the shelf fungi that had like feeding damage. You could see like little tunnels through it. But it also I think had some like fungi that were growing over it like a little mold because some of them like it looks pretty yellow, but then some spots were kind of like that green gray mold hue like on top of it. But yeah, the focus of this observation though was the little purple one.
Yeah, this one.
I think the purple one, you might you might have that one. And the white thing, maybe stereoides, like another Cerioporus.
I'm not familiar with those, so
Because the way that's pulled back with your finger there, it looks like a upper surface.
Yeah, because it was on the underside of a log, so it was like a shelf um fungus that was like growing along the other
Right.
side of the log. But since it was on the bottom, it was like up against the bottom of the log.
okay, but we're happy with the pink as the Ceriporia purpurea. So we should.
I agree. I would have called this thing purpurea, but I'm just here on Micro Quebec, and they're saying two new species are described for North America. C. manzanidae and C. occidentalis. So I think there's probably more that meets the eye when we're looking at these Ceriporia type things.
So should I just withdraw the species ID and just go to genus Ceriporia?
I would leave it up as purpurea because leaving it up as purpurea is more likely for someone to go in there that knows this and say, yeah or no, right? So, yeah, I
Yeah,
would leave it up
I
as
agree with Brandon. There's no harm in leaving that species name up there. And if you're right, you're more likely to attract someone who will agree, and then it'll be research grade. And if you're wrong, you're also more likely to attract someone who will either comment or counter propose.
Think the people who were the research people would be more likely to look at it if we had already made it research grade, because they want to disprove things.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. Well, one way or the other. I mean, if someone sees it and thinks it's wrong, they're probably going to come on and interact and have something to say.
Yeah, well, I think it's the purpurea because you look at all the other species, that's the oh, well, this tartar. This
Yeah,
is interesting.
Yeah, there's
there-
something.
I just
I
put
think
I just put the link in the chat to the Micro Quebec link for purpurea, and I think it's pretty obvious if you just work your way through that there's more that meets the eye when it comes to purpurea, because I found something that I wanted to call purpurea before, and I just couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Well, does the purpurea usually have the white outline? Because the one that she has does not really have that. You know, the extra, the edges like this. Oh,
Could just be very mature.
okay.
Doesn't have that kind of generative uh, hyphae going out.
Yeah, because sometimes when I see the crust fungus and I see some without and some without, uh, it seems to be more genus specific. Okay. All right. So, all right.
And I've
Last
got
one.
one last really cool thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, neat.
It's a bald-faced hornet that was overwintering in a log, and my friend and I flipped the log, and at first we were like, "Oh yay, a hornet,"
Hmm.
because we're entomology
Oh
nerds.
my God.
And then
Look at
I
that.
saw that he was or she was covered in fungus.
How'd you know he was bald?
Wow. That is super cool.
But yeah, I saw Kira's post about the um she just posted some cordyceps, and I was like, "Oh, I just found a cool guy too." And she said, "Oh, it's probably the icing sugar fungus." So that's what I uploaded it as.
See, I think, and I she knows more about these fungi than I do. Um, but I think that one is host specific on, what is it, cicadas? Maybe I'm way off on that.
Can
I
we look at it?
think that the Cordyceps sinclairi is the one that's specific for cicadas, if I'm not mistaken. Sinclairi.
Thank you.
Okay, now you revealed more of yourself. You like bugs.
Yes, I really like bugs.
That means we're going to lose you. You're not going to be the mycologist of the future.
I have an
I'm
idea for the
I'm a botanist in my
porite
day-to-day
thing.
life, so
For the purpurea, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's not Ceriporia, it's Ceriporia or Ceripor. Let me put it in the chat because I think we
It's
may have
not
found this the other day.
it's not Ceriopera, or no, it is Ceriopera. Sprasis, right?
Oh,
No, it's this thing. Ceriporia, excelsa.
excelsa.
Look at this. Have a look at the thing.
There we see the
See if you
yellow
can
and the red.
enlarge. Yeah, see if you can enlarge it too. It's got like the irregularly shaped pores.
Hmm.
If you click on the photo and then see, look at this one. This really looks
Yeah,
like
it
that thing that was in there.
doesn't look dissimilar. Sure.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
you can just like roll your Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That looks like it.
I feel like
Maybe a
the
little
one that I
thicker.
found though, you can see the wood behind it so clearly compared to the
Yes,
other
it was. This is thicker.
this
This is
genus.
thicker.
Just want to look at
See, there's a few more photos.
just look at the
Yeah, that
symbiote.
thing that Jamie, that thing you found was very thin, very thin.
Okay, it's been found in our area. By Dave. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought I remembered it. But it's not Ceriporia, it's Ceriporia. That's so I was
Yeah.
having trouble remembering that, but I don't know if this
Okay.
is right. Yeah, I
Right.
don't know if that was right. Um, I I think
Hmm.
I think I put it up on INET and said I think that's what it is, and nobody has said anything.
Seems
You can click on it and enlarge it, and you'll see the once again it's a thicker. It's not particularly big or thick, but it's thicker than Jamie's thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Deeper pores.
Yeah.
Does Michael Kubrick say that that's the pore depth is an indicator?
It's they probably say
He
something.
says very
1
thin.
millimeter. 1 millimeter, the tubes.
Oh, well,
0.5 to 0.1. Yeah.
wow. Well,
And it doesn't care what kind of trees. Spring to autumn. Okay. But the excelsa. Right, okay. All right, so you can continue on looking at all the other possibilities for Ceriporia or excelsa. Okay. All right, thank you very much, Jamie, bringing these more unusual ones to us.
Yeah, thanks for, chiming in and helping because like I said, I'm still learning all of the, fungi and
So many to learn.
so many indeed.
Uh, Hunter, would you like to go next, or does Dave want to go
Not
next?
really. I'll go last if
Okay.
there's time.
Does
I don't
anybody
have
else?
anything great to show.
I
Just
have
Does anybody?
one to share,
Yeah,
and
I was
I'd
just going
like
to
to
ask.
share it
oh,
from my phone,
Okay.
which I'm still working out how to do. So bear with me. Share screen, entire screen. All right, can you see Hunter there?
I can.
Yep.
Good. All right. So this is the setting where I found this thing. On this upright, I don't know what it is. I'm just calling it beech just based on how smooth the bark is. But can you see all these dots on these massive branches?
yeah.
Yeah, so this branch where my cup is over here is nearly 20 feet long. And this one, kind of higher up there, is over 10 feet long. And all of this substrate was covered in this really interesting ascomycete. Maybe Lila shared this before. Um, this is that genus that we were talking about a couple weeks ago that I cannot say. Bisco.
Oh, yeah. Biscogniauxia.
Yeah, Biscogniauxia. This one is marginatum though, not atropunctum that we were talking about. And these little stromata are pretty much raised up underneath the bark. I think you can see that in this photo before the bark is kind of exposed. Yeah.
Oh, so they break through the bark.
Yep. Yeah. What is that? Eruptant?
I
Erupted. Yeah, that's
I
a nice photo.
thought it was that an M in there,
Eruptant. Not
something like that.
I don't think there's an M in there. Eruptant. It erupts like a volcano.
Was it spelled BISC?
Yeah. Bisco. The biscuit.
Yeah,
There's a
I'm trying to
there,
find it in
there's
iNaturalist.
Oh, BY,
it's,
maybe.
Ah,
no, there's not a Y in there.
not a Y.
There is a G and an N and an X where you would not expect an X to be. Uh,
I see. I got it. I
but
can't
at least,
pronounce it.
yeah, I have no
Hypoxylon
idea.
canker. Let's go with the
Common name.
yeah.
But it leaves these little ghosts on the what is that term? Barkless wood, um, the corticated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it leaves these little outlines of where they used to be. Um,
That is so cool.
I
yeah,
wonder how deep that spalting goes.
it's a good question.
That's some cool stuff.
Yeah, I haven't done any micro on it, but it seems to be a pretty good ID just based on the thing. They're not small. I measured them. Well, they are small, but they're over 5 millimeters. So for things that I think are cool, that's pretty big. And then the marginatum part of it, if you can see on these ones, they have a little rim to them, right? So the margin is raised up a little bit.
Yeah, that lighter gray color.
Mm-hmm. But you can also make out where that is breaking away from the lighter gray color of the bark,
Yeah.
which I'm calling beech. I guess there are several other smooth barked type deals. Maybe I don't know, hornbeam, maple, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all.
those are
all
neat.
Are you
I,
guys seeing the kiwi bubbles yet this year?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
you seen
all
them?
throughout. I mean, they're on the branches in the winter. You pull up a little beech
Yeah,
twig.
I mean, right. It's late, I guess, right? Or I don't know when. I know, right, in the winter. So you've seen them for a while then. Now,
Well, what's an overwintered thing? I haven't seen them when they're green,
yeah,
which is
green.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Lila, you shared this, you know, within the last couple of years, right?
Yeah. I just found my observation is back in April of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah, yeah.
That's,
It's very, very, very similar. No one confirmed my ID, but it
I
looks
don't I
very
don't think
similar.
there's much you can confuse it with in my opinion. And
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in weird spots, and if I were to find something like this, I would have paid attention to it. So it seems really common in like uh, Eastern Europe, but maybe not so much in North America. But who knows if we have the same species as they do.
Is this bad for the tree or did this kill it? Do we know
Mm,
about this particular fungus?
it's a good question. Uh, I didn't read up on it too much. I think in the description that I read was it could contribute. It could be mildly parasitic. But I doubt it's doing the deed. I think it's probably working its way in there and finishing off.
Mushroom expert says it's just a saprobe.
Yeah.
It just causes
Yeah,
white rot. So I guess it
yeah.
didn't kill it.
I think
Wikipedia says does call it a plant pathogen for what that's worth.
Yeah.
So
Well, they
Yeah,
think
I
it's a
think
plant, so where should go from there?
well, plant pathogen, so it's a pathogen on a plant.
plant,
Meaning,
yes.
yeah. But I tend to think it's probably mildly parasitic as
Yeah.
opposed to, it's actually killing the thing. You saw let's look at it. It didn't break it off up there, right? That was wind or something else.
I looked up eruptant so I could see the spelling, and it has a funny little bit here. Eruptant is not a standard English word, but likely refers to eruptive, tending to burst forth, or is a misspelling related to eruption, a breaking out, such as a rash.
there's Michael Quebec has another species that looks a little bit like this. I think yours is probably this marginata, but there's
Oh yeah.
also B. rapanda,
Hmm.
and it looks a little like it, but the spores are shaped a lot differently. So if you're able to find spores, you
Yeah,
could eliminate the other.
I collected the thing, and gosh, I'm going back to the issue I had last week where I don't know how to stop sharing now. Um, I looked into that, and it also has more kind of irregular fruiting bodies. Is that right, Dave?
I didn't read the description, but based on the photos I looked at, that seems to make sense. Yeah, like the marginata is the more uniformly sort of round, like little cut off barrels, sort of, with a rim on top.
Well, Jamie points out that cankers are a chronic illness, but it'll keep the host alive.
Ah.
Okay, Dave, are you ready? Unless somebody else wants to go?
If you want to look quick at the one that I posted
Oh,
above Jamie's comment, that
yes,
was
let me
my
see that.
observation.
Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, I see it now. Share. Oh, doesn't look anything like it because it's a close-up.
Yeah, well, there's another picture that
Still doesn't look like it.
So this one could be Rapanda.
Look how it's leaving those ghosts the same way. Right, and that is not a
Oh,
technical term in any way. Just the
I like it. It's good.
Roll
and
the
when
other
I was
pitch. Go ahead.
when I was collecting these things, I took a knife to them. I think they're in Xylariales, you know, that sub order, I guess. So I thought they would be really tough, but you can just kind of pick them off. So it must be, part of this fungus's, uh, ecology. They just kind of break off and leave those white dots underneath.
It's interesting. Oh, this one does the same thing. All right. Because I thought Brandon's was more characteristic of what it's supposed to look like with all the many, many dots before it becomes a patch.
I mean, it looks very similar.
yeah. I think this one might just be a lot older. It's also probably on oak as opposed to beech, so a different species.
And has long worked its way through that young bark, like the branches that I found that last thing on. So
Mhm. Thank you, Lila. I said that was April. You showed it perhaps in April of over 2 years ago, and we still remember it. Okay. Okay, Dave, do you want to go?
Okay. Yeah, let me just go back into full screen. Okay. Um,
So with the
well, the first thing is from last week. I already showed this, but I need to show this again. Um, oh no, this is okay. This is a new one. We had that discussion last week about oh, what's that thing? Metroloidea.
Mhm.
And so that's got me wondering about how do you tell the difference between Stecherinum, ochraceum, and Metroloidea, because they're kind of similar. You know, they're these hydnoid polypore type things that are plastered on pieces of wood or logs or trees. And I think I've got some photos here that are close-ups through a loop where you can see the
you only got one
medium
here.
a little better.
There's only one picture here.
That's
No,
because you're in the
the image.
image.
I'm at the image again. Yeah. The juice over here.
Yeah, if you move along, you can see here it is hydnoid, but this is more of a just the gestalt kind of deal. The last two photos are through a loop.
it's
Oh, it's
also
only the
good.
one photo that's through a loop, actually.
It's good to note that there's no even semblance of a stipe here, in my opinion. I don't see one.
No, there's really no stipe. It's just it was pretty broadly attached, not the whole thing. Like, maybe a couple of millimeters along the margin were not attached, but it was pretty broadly attached. And this smaller one is a little bit more raised up. These are pretty small, like 1 to 2 centimeters. I think it's probably Stecherinum ochraceum, but it's just got me wondering now about this other thing because it's pretty similar, really.
Yeah, but and I'm unfamiliar with that Metroloidea thing as well. It just
Yeah,
fits so well. One of the things that really makes sense, like contextually, is that these teeth are kind of feathery, even in maturity. They're how do you describe that?
yeah, they get really thin.
They get
Uh,
really thin. Right.
mhm. So
Where which
I think you
that
can
other
zoom in on
thing.
this. If you use that little square in the upper right and then hit
It doesn't
and
work
then
on
hit
me. I
show
have to use
original
I have
down.
to use
Yeah,
my
there we go.
fingers.
Yeah,
I
there
have to
we
use
go.
my fingers. It doesn't work on the click.
Oh, oh, I didn't. Geez, I didn't even know you were able to do that. Anyway, yeah, Brandon, you were saying they are kind of feathery. That's one of the things had me wondering here.
Yeah,
Well, isn't
and
that a
then
characteristic of the Stecheriums to begin with, that they're more feathery? They're not like the Trametes,
Yeah, it's not a Trametes or Trichoptum, I don't think.
which have real sort of stiff teeth. These
Yeah,
are
you can
all
see in the upper right that the hymenium is truly hydnoid. It starts out as little spines. It's not like walls of tubes breaking apart, lacerating. These are just spines. So I don't know. I just thought I'm not expecting anybody to really know one way or the other. It's just I thought I knew Stecherinum ocraceum, and now I'm wondering, about this other thing.
well, Dave, I'll say I think I know Stecherinum ocraceum as well, but
Yep.
I will admit I've never had them sequenced. I've done some micro on them.
Yeah.
But that thing that I found that I called Metroloidea
Uh-huh.
had nothing other than it was hydnoid, read as Stecherinum.
Uh-huh.
So I think if you found that thing and questioned it, you should press that question because it very much had like a rubbery consistency. It had a
Uh,
pseudo stipe. You know what I mean?
uh-huh. Uh,
It wasn't delicate, which is a good way maybe to describe Stecherinum. You can peel these
yeah.
things right off the substrate, kind of delicately. That thing was not. So
Oh, I did peel this off this stick very easily. The whole, the whole fruit body came off really easily. I think this is probably just Stecherinum. Um, it didn't smell like anything. Oh, it was very old. It was probably lying there for months. It was right in the middle of a trail.
oh, cool.
Wait, did you miss one? Because I wanted to show that thing that
Oh, yes, I think it's in the. All right, let me go this one. So that's the one I did.
the
That's the one I
the
did.
one just below that. Let's see, because I think you
Yeah, that's
missed.
the one I did. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
So
there's
go
one
this
right
one,
below
this one.
that. Yeah, yeah, right.
Okay.
I showed this last week, and I said it was Octospora, and Jamie and Brandon each pointed out, and I think Lila did as well, that Octospora grows on moss, and there is no moss here. So I thought I would try to do a little investigating, and I couldn't really find anything mentioned under Octospora that said like such and such is similar. So I put it on ASCO France because I had some pretty good micro here for this. Um, Put it on ASCO France, and within a half an hour, Nicholas van Vuren, who is an absolute expert on these small ASCOs, came on and identified it as Sepultariella, however, if I'm saying that correctly. Um, and it looks like he's right. I mean, I wouldn't argue with him anyway. He this guy is really, really an expert on this stuff. And this, but it's funny how the micro for this Sepultariella is very similar to the Octospora. The spore dimensions fit better. My spore dimensions fit better with Sepultariella than they're a little bigger than what they should have been for that Octospora species that I originally proposed. So I think that's what this is, Sepultariella.
You're the
And it
first one
grows,
on
and that
Mushroom
one grows on
Observer.
slow.
You're
Excuse
the
me.
first one on. You're the first one on Mushroom Observer for this.
It looks like it. Yeah, I preserved some of these. I plucked a few of these out of this flower pot and dried them out, and I have them in a bag. I'll send them to Steve Russell. So hopefully we'll get a verdict on this. But I'm pretty sure that, I mean, Nicholas came on and he didn't even give an explanation. He just said
Yeah.
one sentence. You have Sepultariella species here. Yeah, that's all he said.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, but I had some pretty good micro to go along with it, so that probably was helpful.
He says this is what you get when you put it in pots.
So, um, so I did a little also a little research on Octospora. Octospora is a really old genus. It goes back to the 1700s. Um, I haven't researched it extensively, but it kind of seems to me like Octospora was one of these things that was erected as a genus not long after people started first using a microscope to analyze these sorts of things. And it looks like probably Octospora the genus housed probably a lot of small ascomycetes for quite a long time until it got split apart. And I suppose the type species was one of these things that was found on moss, and so then those are the ones that get retained in the genus. for the long haul. Because these fruit bodies and the micro and everything is pretty similar to Octospora. And the other thing that makes me wonder too is the name Octospora almost clearly comes from the fact that there's 8 spores in an ascus. But that's true for almost all of these little ascos. So,
Dave, did you happen to make it to the couplet where does this Octospora have 8 spores or 4 spores?
no.
Because that is it. That is a couplet. There are Octospora that are, and in the U.S., they are pretty well worked out in the U.K., but there are species in Octospora that only have 4 spores per ascus, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, it's like sort of like a guild polypore or something. It's like an oxymoron
Yep.
name. Oh, that's right. I did run into that there are some with 4 spores in the ascus. But anyway, these spores could have been Octospora. Really, they're just a little bigger. But the habitat really was what made me wonder, and apparently it was a good idea to wonder because now I think I've got that pretty well pegged. So the Lecanora here is not the red things; those are Peniophora. I think that's the genus name, Peniophora rufa. The lichen are these little yellow things that are you see them in the upper right and the lower left. So those are those little what are the little discs for a lichen? Apothecia, right. So it's funny because I think this is interesting because it seems like most of the time when I find this Peniophora rufa, it's got Lecanora on the same stick growing along with it, which seems pretty interesting. So I didn't get any spores or anything out of these. I think I tried to scrape one off and wasn't succeeding, so I just gave up. They're very small.
Dave, was it raining when you found this, or was it kind of wet?
A little bit damp. It was. Oh wait, was it raining when we were at Slocum? What was
Oh,
that about? 2
Is
weeks ago?
Karen there?
Yeah.
Oh, Karen, what's the thallus on this type of Lecanora? Is it the whole white part?
Um, no, it's kind of greenish. It's just the area surrounding the little round
Oh,
yellow apothecia.
oh, okay, yeah, now I can
Yeah,
see it. Okay.
I don't think it's the whitish area.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Yep, cool. And that's an interesting note, Dave, about finding them together.
That
I've been,
that's that's why I have the two observations are like there's no space between them because they're a pair because the other one
Mhm,
is the Peniophora.
mhm. I've been finding orbiliomycetes, if anyone is familiar, and a lot of that paper that I've been reading is the uh, lichen associates on the same branches, as well as
Uh-huh.
some bug associations and things like that. Kind of why on this little tiny branch do these things associate with each other? So, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that seems to be the question. I mean, other times I found this Peniophora. Um, I think most, if not all the times, there were these tiny Lecanora apothecia on the same stick.
Yeah. One of my favorite finds last year was something like this with 3 more lichens. So there were like 5 different kinds on one stick.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't think I did any micro on any of this. I've done micro on the Peniophora in the past.
Do we know what kind of tree this one was?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was aspen, a poplar.
Hmm.
There were a lot. That's what this is supposed to grow on, and those are the trees that were there. It was on the ground. It was a stick on the ground.
That's interesting, Dave, because you seem to find this pretty frequently, right? That Peniophora.
I find it in March. It seems
I
funny.
never,
That's when I find it.
I've never seen it, but we also don't have I don't think I have aspen in South Jersey. I don't think
Uh,
I don't think I've ever seen an aspen. So
Now, I looked for this when I was cross country skiing in January and early February, and I was out a lot. And the spot where I found it in the past, I was at that on that trail like 4 or 5 times, and I looked for this and I couldn't find it. So it seems as though it probably fruits, like in March, which is seems kind of funny.
it's fun at the least. It's cool.
Okay, so I don't have a sequence for this, but I'm pretty sure this is Mycena overholtzii, because that's a wintertime Mycena. Now there's a few others, gray Mycena mushrooms with white gills that are broadly attached and maybe even a little subdecurrent. But the spore dimension is different. There's another one that I just got sequence back this yesterday morning, Mycena robusta, but that one has much bigger, wider spores. So the spores for this overholtzii are around 7 by 3 or 4, 7 by 4, something like that. They're small, not as small as semivestipes. Those spores only don't get much bigger than 5.5 microns, and so I'm pretty sure this would be overholtzii, which is an interesting species because it was documented first in Wyoming as a snowmelt species, and supposedly Mycena overholtzii produces the largest fruit bodies of any Mycena. These are not all that big, really. Maybe an inch. Some of the biggest one there might be an inch across.
Measure pen.
Oh, there you go. There's the penny, right? So you can see there, maybe that biggest one is maybe an inch. Um, and but so they're not. I never found like really large Mycena overholtzii. So you wonder then, well, is it the same species? You get when you sequence overholtzii in the east, you typically get like a 99.85% identity similarity to the type specimen from Wyoming. It's kind of strange because they don't look the same. The spores are the same. However, there are instances where two different species have very similar ITS, and then you need to have a different region sequenced. So to tell the difference, is that what's going on here? Well, I don't know. This one wasn't even sequenced. I think I did save a sample of this. I'll probably send it eventually.
And what's that species that I think I learned when I first joined this club? Aprilis. That is not in America, right?
No, it's overholtzii.
Oh, it's over Holtzia.
Aprilis is overholtzii. When Michael Quebec created the provisional name Aprilis, and because they didn't know what it was, I didn't know what it was either because I was finding it, so I was calling mine Aprilis, and then Aprilis disappeared, and overholtzii appeared on Michael Quebec. They don't explain these kind of things when they should. They really should. And somebody told me, maybe Alan Rockefeller told me, this is probably overholtzii, and I was like, well, yeah, but that's like a really big mushroom that grows in the Rocky Mountains, and it's got this big rooting stipe, and but he didn't have much more to say. He just said, you have to have it sequenced. And I did have a few collections sequenced. I've had 2 collections sequenced so far that were like 99.85% identity similarity to the type specimen for Overholtzii, the one collected in Wyoming. So, and I think this is probably this is going to fit right in with those other ones, is my guess.
Getting late, so I just want to move a little
Oh yeah,
quicker.
you can go fast. And auricularia, and this looks like not like the auricularia that we found in the same location back in January. The ones we found back in January look like that thick, dark one, nigrescens or whatever. And this one I think is probably just angiospermarum. But it might be that one that Dorothy finds on her property. That's the one that's sort of imported from Asia. And I think I may have proposed both names. If I proposed names, did I propose any species names here? I'm not sure.
No.
No. Did I put anything in the note? I should have put something in the notes here. I guess I didn't. What's that one? What's the Asian one that Dorothy has found on her? And she's pretty sure she knows what it is. I'm not sure she had it sequenced. But anyway, it could be that one. I just forget the name of it. So we had a little foray during our thaw. Down in Wilkes-Barre, down by the Susquehanna River. It's a little warmer there than in the forested areas around here outside of the city. And we found things. And I guess, is there one more? I don't even know.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Hunter.
Okay, yeah, I got a few, nothing exciting, and I've not been able to do any like research into anything. A couple lichens, and this really isn't a very good picture. And I really don't really have much to say about it. It's just a lichen I found. This is
Are they all?
a different one.
It's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, and we might want to move on to it.
Well, hold on. Let's look at this. Was that Karen chiming in? Is this Punctilia?
Oh, Karen, is Karen there?
Yeah, she's here. I just took off the mute.
Um,
You want the computer?
I need to see it closer. Yeah, it could be Punctilia reducta, but I'm not sure just from the picture.
Yeah, it's not a great one. What are characteristics of Punctilia reducta?
It has the gray color. Was this wet? Was it damp?
Not too damp. A little bit maybe.
Because it's kind of dark for a punctilia, but if it's wet, it's more likely to be a more vivid, darker color. It'll have little white spots, which I don't really see in the photo, but they can be hard. You need to get a good look at it. Little white spots, and it'll have isidia, which are little finger-like projections sticking up from the surface. And you may need a hand lens to see that. At least I do. People with better eyesight can just see it, but I have to use a hand lens.
Okay. Cool. I got another one. This is close up of
It's another one.
the next picture.
This one?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
I don't think that's a lichen.
Oh, really?
I think that's fungal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder what though.
Hmm.
Some kind of crust or polypore.
What is that on the cut side of a like a log?
Yeah, it's a stump, I think. Probably mm, or, could be a few different types. Oak or maybe cottonwood.
And do you remember if this is from like the top of a stump, or is this the side of a laying log?
No, it's the top of a stump.
Oh, yeah, it looks like something that wants to make some shelves, like a young growth that is trying to kind of become a shelf fungus.
Okay, cool. Like
Yeah, pick a thing.
like a Trametes gibosa or no?
Well, yeah, Trametes isn't out of the question. I mean, the coloration on it, maybe it's being attacked by something.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Kind of interesting. Okay. Um, and this is Trametes conifer, I believe.
Hmm.
And
Conchifer, conifer, whatever.
yeah, conifer. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and you know, it's not too exciting. It's just all I got out there right now. And I think I have a close up of one of the cups. Yeah. So it's interesting how they have these zonations. Um, and I think it's a really neat fungus. Actually.
They develop pores on the underside, on the convex side, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it takes a while for the pores to develop, and even after they develop, they're very shallow.
Yeah, it's interesting because they look like a cup fungi often, or even a
Well,
bird.
bird's nest. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, don't they have like a weird membrane type thing that they develop that they lose in age?
Um, covering covering something or the cap or
Oh,
Directly.
maybe that's where the pores are underneath. That's I don't know, but that
Yeah, they
sounds
have
like what might
they
happen.
have like two forms, right? There's one form where they have this kind of membranous thing going on, and then these cups open up and flatten out. So that cup starts out kind of well, a rumpant, if we're going to use the loose description that we heard earlier, um,
eh.
and then that cup kind of flattens out and becomes these discs.
When we were looking at that last picture and honing in, it looked like there were, do you see those little pink couple?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
well,
some lichen there.
I wanted to talk about those lichen. That's a cool apothecia on like
There's some. They're not real well focused.
yeah,
No.
This
but
thing here is better.
they're on a
Those are fun.
foliose. That's on a foliose lichen, right? Not like a crustose thing. It
Yeah.
appears.
Folios?
Yeah.
Oh, you call that folios? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crustose will have a layer. I mean, it's like paint. It's
Right.
completely
Okay.
attached to the substrate.
Yeah.
But the pink the pink cups on that lichen on the folios thing, I don't recognize it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just noticing them. Yeah, saw those.
You have any idea what kind of lichen that is? I guess it's
I think
hard to tell. I mean, they're really small.
um, Yeah. It's not a good photograph.
Right.
It might be an old too.
Yeah. Well, the star of the show is this Trametes conifer thing, and those just happen to be there, so
Yeah.
we just noticed them now.
Yeah, we can move on. I really don't have much too exciting, but I grew these. This was exciting. These pink oysters, and they turned out good. I probably won't grow them again because they're very subject to trichoderma, and so and need pretty warm temperatures. But it was fun to grow them.
Grew
And
them indoors or?
yeah, indoors, yeah. And I have a little grow room in my basement, and I I don't grow very much. I only do it in the winter time when my shiitake logs aren't fruiting, and I can't do outdoor growing, and when I'm not traveling. So it ends up being maybe two different runs of I'll do 8 blacks at a time, and so I was able to do some king trumpets this year, and then these, and that's all I'll do probably this winter. So
Why do you don't want to do these again?
because well they like higher temperatures, so they fruit between 70 and 85 degrees. So that's a little bit hot. And then I think because of the hot temperatures, they are prone to get trichoderma mold.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's no fun. So yeah, but I wanted to do it. I've actually never wanted to do it before because I've known about them for a long time, but I've also known they're prone to get that trichoderma. So I never did it. But then for some reason this year I was like, oh, let's give it a shot. So they were pretty. So
And you didn't get the trichoderma or not?
no, actually the blacks did start to get it after after the first fruiting. Sometimes you can squeeze out a second flush, a couple weeks after the first. But pretty much after I harvested them all, within a day or two, I had to leave town, and so I kept the heat, the humidity, and the light going for like 2 days straight. And then when I got back, like one or two of the blacks had the trichoderma, and I just said, you know what, I'm not even gonna go for a second flush. I want to get this out of my house, out of my grow room. So that was it. But they're lovely. Oh yeah. So this is what is it? Abiospora morbidosa. That's not quite right. But this grows mostly on cherry, and it's a parasitic fungus, and you see it this time of year. And it's just what we got right now. So I was like, oh, what can I find here? This is so I took a picture of it, and I guess it's very it spreads a lot, I think, so you don't really want to travel with it or carry it around or drop it in your friend's yards.
Is the hole outside the hymenium there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is the one that is it grows on the aphid dung or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, Ascleosporinum morbosa. That's it. Yeah, I didn't know that. Is that
Yeah,
right?
because it's only on beach, right?
I thought cherry.
Cherry. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different fungus. I apologize. I could
Oh,
be wrong.
and maybe Yeah, I'm pretty sure cherry, but
It's called black knot of cherry.
Yeah, it
okay,
grows
yeah,
on
black.
fruit trees.
Yeah, I think maybe pear too, but not on well, we don't have beach, yeah, really much. So
Yeah, I'm thinking of. Uh, it doesn't look like this now that I'm looking at the photograph. Well, kind of does, but there is a black kind of sooty, more sooty fungus that grows on the honeydew from aphids off of
oh
beech trees. Um, I mean, it's
yeah.
a black thing. It's more sooty. This is definitely more kind of carbonaceous, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between sooty and carbonaceous? Is one just soft and the other one's hard or powdery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Carbonaceous. It's got like a hard exterior shell type thing going on.
Okay.
And then sooty is more of a do you know stemonitis? The
Yeah,
slime mold,
stemonitis, but that's
the slime mold, where it's
yeah.
just kind of tendrils with dust on the end. It's similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you touch yours, would it fall apart then, kind of? Or no?
Yeah, or just kind of dissolve upon itself.
Okay. Yeah, this is real tough.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've seen this thing, and now I know what we're talking about here.
Yeah. It's just yeah. I'm sure you've seen it too. Yeah.
Super common,
Yeah.
and
Is yeah.
super common, and also underobserved, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
for how common this thing is, there are not enough on.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think I'm not sure this next one's even a fungus. It might just be some sort of gall, but oh, I don't have a next one. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Hunter. Anybody else before we call it a night? Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I'll see
Thanks,
you next week,
everyone.
hopefully.
Have a great night.